Okay, everyone, welcome to these notes. Make sure that welcome to this video lesson. Make sure that you have paper and pencil out, ready to copy everything down. And let's get started. First thing we do is we identify the name of the notes, and the name of these notes are called polynomials, right? Division. So we're going to take a look at how we divide polynomials, right? So first thing we're going to see, first bullet point here we're going to see in our notes is regular division. Now we can divide these polynomials by doing regular division, regular old school division that you're used to from elementary school, right? So we can do regular division, right? But in these notes, we're going to do something called synthetic division. And the second bullet point says, if leading coefficient is 1, then we do synthetic division. Right? We do something called synthetic division. You'll see what that is in about a minute. Okay. Third bullet point is we're going to solve for the divider. Okay? We're going to solve for the divider. And the fourth bullet point is we are going to list all coefficients including 0. So those are the 4 things we're going to remember when doing our work. Okay? So let us take a look here and let's get started. All right. So this first example says, and I'll read it, 2p squared minus 25p plus 63 is divided by p minus 9. Okay. So what we're going to do is, we're going to remember here that it says if leading coefficient is 1, then we're going to do synthetic division. Now, the leading coefficient here is we look at our divider. We're going to look at what we're going to divide into. And that is this small part right here, p minus 9. Now, coefficient means the number in front of the first variable right here. And that's an invisible 1. So that has a leading means first, leading coefficient of 1. So we can do synthetic division. And I'm going to show you what that looks like right now. But second bullet point we're going to follow is solve for divider. We're going to solve for the divider. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this p minus 9 and I'm going to make it equal 0. So check it out. P minus 9 is equal to 0. And I'm going to solve for p. I'm going to get p by itself. So what do? I cross out negative 9 and I make it plus 9 on the other side. And I get p is equal to 9. Look at that. Okay, p is equal to 9. So there's my 9 there. Okay, now watch what I'm going to do. Okay, watch what I'm going to do. I am going to draw a little box like this. Here, I have room. So I'm going to draw my box like this. And inside this box, I'm going to put a 9 there. Okay. Then I'm going to draw a line just like this. Look at that. Okay. Now, I'm going to go take a look at this now. Okay. I worked on this parentheses here. Now I'm going to work on this parentheses right here. 2p squared minus 25p plus 63. Now let's take a look at the fourth bullet point here. List all coefficients including 0. List all coefficients including 0. So let us take a look here. Coefficients are the numbers, regular numbers. So I'm going to start with p to the power of 2 here. What number is in front of p to the power of 2? It's 2, right? So the number in front of p to the power of 2 is 2. Okay? So watch what I'm going to do. Okay, there you go. Now I'm going to take a look at p to the power of 1. What number is in front of p to the power of 1? Exactly, negative 25. Okay. And finally, what is the last regular number there? 63. Right? There you go. So those three numbers, kiddos, I'm going to bring them down and I'm going to write them right here. 2, negative 25, and 63, positive 63. Positive 63. And I can write a positive 2 here as well. Okay? Look at that. Okay. Next, I'm going to draw myself a little arrow here, like that. And that means that this 2 comes down right here, like that. Now, watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to say 9 times 2. 9 times 2. Again, 9 times 2. 9 times 2 is 18. And I'm going to write it right here under this negative 25, just like that. All right. And now I have a negative 25 and a positive 18, which are different signs. So I subtract 25 minus 18 is 7. And I get a negative 7 because 25 is bigger. Look at that. Now I'm going to do 9 times negative 7. Look at that. 9 times negative 7 is a negative 63. So I'm going to write that over here. Negative 63. Just like that. And a positive 63 and a negative 63 are not the same sign. So I subtract 63 minus 63 is 0. Just like that. Okay. So I'm done. Right? So now I need to write my variables again. Now if you noticed here, this starts as p to the power of 2. What is 1 less than p to the power of 2? Exactly. P to the power of 1. So watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to take mine here, and I'm going to give this a p to the power of 1. And I'm going to give this one no p, right? And this one is just a regular number. So my answer is going to be 2p minus 7 and a positive 0. And I can combine these two. Negative 7 plus 0 is just negative 7. So I get 2p minus 7. And this right here, kiddos, is my solution. Look at that. So when I divide 2p squared minus 25p plus 63 divided by p minus 9, I get 2p minus 7. Pretty good, right? I get 2p minus 7. All right, perfectly done. You follow the same exact steps. So let's follow the same exact steps on this second example here. So let's do that. So the first thing we did on this example, let's see. So I took my p minus 9 here, look, and I made it equal 0. Okay. So let's take our x plus 6 and let's make it equal 0. So x plus 6 equals 0. Well, let's solve for x. The opposite of plus 6 is minus 6. So I get x is equal to negative 6. Okay, I have that. Okay, I did the same thing here. Next, I put the 9 that I got, I put it in a half box. So let's put the negative 6 and let's put it in a half box. All right, so let's say, oops. So let's put this negative 6 in a half box, just like that. Look at that. Okay, next I took my p to the power of 2, and the coefficient was 2. P to the power of 1, coefficient was negative 25, and 63. I put boxes around those, okay? So here, let's see. I have x to the power of 3 has an invisible 1 there, right? So let's circle that 1. I have x to the power of 1. I have a negative 43 in front. And then I have a negative 43 at the end here, like this. Okay? And let's see what I did with these 3 here. 1, 2, 3. I copied them over. 1, 2, 3. Okay? Now, I noticed here, let's see, p to the power of 2, 1 less, p to the power of 1. 1 less is p to the power of 0, but I don't need to have p to the power of 0, right? So let's see here. Okay, x to the power of 3. 1 less is x to the power of 2. Wait a minute. Where is x to the power of 2? Okay, let me write them down here. So x to the power of 3 is 1, so I'm going to write my 1 here. X to the power of 2, what is the coefficient in front of x to the power of 2? X to the power of 3 is 1. X to the power of 2, it's not there. It's not there. So that means that what's in front of x to the power of 2 is 0. So I'm going to write the 0 right here. Next, what is x to the power in front of x to the power of 1? Negative 43. Okay. Negative 43. And then at the end is another negative 43. Just like that. Look at that. So I have to include the 0, kiddos, here. I have to include it because this is x to the power of 3, x to the power of 2, x to the power of 1, no x. In order. X to the power of 3, invisible somewhere over here, x to the power of 2 is 0, x to the power of 1, no x. So I have to include that 0 there. I draw my line, I draw my arrow, let's see here, yep. And I'm going to bring down my positive 1 here. Okay. Negative 6 times 1 is negative 6. 0 and a negative 6 are different signs. 6 minus 0 is 6, and it's a negative because 6 is negative. Okay. Negative 6 times negative 6 is a positive 36. 36, just like this. Okay. A negative 43 and a positive 6 they're not the same sign, so I got to subtract. 43 minus 36 is 7. Okay, 7, and it's a negative 7 because 43 is bigger. Okay. Next, negative 6 times negative 7 is a positive 42. So I'm going to put 42 right there. Okay. A negative 43 and a positive 42 are not the same sign. So 43 minus 42 is 1. And we get a negative 1. And we're done. And we're done. Okay. Now, let us write in our variables. So let's see here. So my original problem started with x to the 3. That means my answer is going to start with 1 less, which is x squared. So that's going to be x squared. And if I do 1 less, that's going to be x. And if I want to do one less, that's going to be no x. But wait a minute. I have this extra number here. This extra number, kiddos, is my remainder. X squared, x to the power of 2, x to the power of 1, x to the power of nothing. I have this extra number here. So the way I write my answer is like this. Let me show you. 1x squared minus 6x minus 7 minus 1. Now, you see what I originally divided by? X plus 6. This x plus 6, kiddos, is going to go, I'm going to show you. I'm going to write this as a fraction. Got to zoom out a little bit. This x plus 6 is going to go right there. Look at that. X plus 6. So I'm going to write it right here. X plus 6. And that right here, kiddos, is going to be our solution. Look at that. And there we go. We are done. Now, if you noticed here on the first example, okay, this had no remainder. The remainder was 0. That's why there's nothing here at the end. Look, there's no number divided by the original, right, which is p plus minus 9. There's no plus a number divided by p plus 9. There is none of that because there's no remainder. We got 0. But on the second example, we did get a remainder, which was -1. So we had to write -1 over x plus 6. And that right there, kiddos, is our lesson for polynomials division. Make sure that you took a lot of notes, okay? Practice the handout, practice the worksheet, and we're going to work on it together to make sure that everybody gets it. Okay? Thank you for being here. See you next time.